Hello everyone, welcome back to Age of Nagash, which is of course a channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar, and in this video we're going to be talking things all Stormcast Eternals. I know, how exciting and how different. However, there has been yet another news article come out for these little shiny gold bastards, so we're going to be doing a video on them. Don't worry, it's not all about dragons, although dragons are the best part of the Stormcast Eternals now, so bear that in mind. But what we'll be looking at in this video is just this small article that's came out. It's probably be about a 10-minute video, and what they talk about is certain sub-allegiances, so the Stormhosts in the Stormcast Eternals, and also your Battleline options, so saying about how you unlock certain Battleline as well. So with no further ado, let us go through this. As always guys, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that bell notification, and let me know your thoughts in the chat and also in the comments down below so I can read that later. And yeah, so let's see what we're going to get. So it starts with build all dragon armies and other fierce forces with the new Stormcast Eternals Battletome. So the Stormcast Eternals have a new Battletome up for pre-order soon, and it's bringing plenty of fresh ways to use your collection with it. No date yet, so when I was saying that maybe there's a slight chance it could have come out like on pre-order for this Saturday, definitely won't be until next Saturday now. So it means that this will be coming out at the end of August, which is still technically August, but you know, always when someone says to you, let's be out in August, it's kind of like, oh, maybe the start. Well, not the start then, you know, it's got a bit too late now. Maybe the middle. No, okay, the end. But here we are. So, lovely little picture there. We see all these models, not just the new ones, but some of the older ones. Right, shoved in at the back, a blister there and stuff. But it says, with 76 new or updated war scrolls, this book is all about the thematic battalion structure and unlocking units as battleline choices. If you've been eyeballing those awesome Dragoonity models, so the dragons, you can put them all to use at once with a Knight Draconis as your general. Perhaps you've got more of a taste of the Paladins, then you'll be taking a Knight Excelsior Stormhost, options abound. Okay, so we'll keep reading in a second, but I just want to say that when it's said you take a Knight Draconis as your general, you get like the Dragoonity Guard as their, you know, battle line. That did all sound really cool and stuff, but there was like ideas and maybe thinking that it could potentially be, you know, if a Star Drake's your general, you'd make Dragoonity Guard and all that sort of thing, or Dracoonity Guard, whatever they're called, battle line as well. But it sounds like that won't be the case. But let's keep reading and let's see what we're going to get. So, the Scales of Justice. So Dragoonity, the Great Drake of Legend, goes way back with the God King Sigmar. These days, it's their noble scions who fight side by side. In your games, you can field an entire army of dragon-mounted Stormcast Eternals alongside Krondis and Kazazay, the sons of Dragoonity himself. I think that was it. Right, so here we've got these two people. I know we've already seen this, but again, awesome models. And then what we got. So you can take it one step further by choosing the Hammers of Sigmar Stormhost. This makes all 4 types of Dragoonity Guard Battleline units, letting you pick the right weapons for the job at hand and adding a whole lot of Draconic Fury to one army. Okay, so when I was saying that, hopefully, you know, if you had like a guy on a Star Drake, you know, Lord Says on a Star Drake as a general, it would make these guys Battleline because they would also make another use for him. It doesn't sound like that is going to be the case, but if you do go Hammers of Sigmar, then they become Battleline anyway, which is kind of better because then it allows more flexibility, but then kind of isn't because then it means that the other Stormhosts can't have them as Battleline without taking a Knight Draconis, but maybe, you know, taking a Knight Draconis is going to be a good thing anyway with that one. It does say the 4 types of Dracofian, it's Dracofian, isn't it? It's not Dracoonity. So Dracofian Guard, there's 4 types. I thought there was only 2. I thought basically, so we see them here with the lances, and I thought you could give them the sword and shield instead of the lance and shield, and then so you've got like 2 war scrolls. But it says there's 4, so I don't think there's any new models. But maybe you can give a lance and sword, or maybe it's including the 2 big dragons, but them being Battleline would be a very interesting take. Maybe a Knight Draconis becomes Battleline, but he's a hero again, so yeah, not too sure about that. Not too sure. Maybe it's including Dracofs, but then that would be more than 4. I don't really know the answer to that, to be honest with you. But it could be something a bit interesting to hear there. Or might not be anything. But it says the courage of their convictions. So, talking about the Knight Excelsior, so there's a dazzling variety of units available to the Stormcast Eternals, and now you'll find loads of heavy hitters in your armies. The Zealous Knights Excelsior utilise small units of paladins to great effect. Their fever driven them to fight all the harder when they are outnumbered. So I just want to say the Knight Excelsior from a lore point of view is, I was going to say one, or probably my favourite Stormhost. That's, not my own or anything, or no one else has came up with, like official canon lore and stuff, because they are just like the pure extreme of the Stormcast in terms of they just hate chaos, in the sense of like, right, so there was one person in a village who was corrupted by chaos. So what that means is that we have to kill everyone within a 200-mile radius of this village, just in case anyone else has been corrupted by chaos. They are the Inquisition of the Stormcast Eternals. So I really, really think they're cool, because it shines a light on the whole sort of thing, like, oh, not all the Stormcasts are really good, and, not like, the conventional good. These guys will kill innocents because they don't want to take the risk, which makes them quite interesting and diverse from a lot of the other sort of tropes of good guys. But the ability, nonetheless, so the Storm of Annihilation. Once per turn, at the start of the combat phase, you can pick one friendly Knight Excelsior's Paladin unit on the battlefield. Until the end of that phase, when you pick that unit to fight, pick one enemy unit within 1 inch of that unit. If the number of models in that enemy unit is greater than the number of models in that Paladin unit, add 1 to the hit and wound rolls for attacks made by that Paladin unit that targets that enemy unit until the end of that phase. Okay, so what I will say with this is you'll probably often get this a lot of the time, because the enemy unit will be outnumbering you, and doesn't even need to be a horde, it can just be a unit of 10 models or maybe even 5, because paladins, I think all paladin units, so retributors, protectors, desolators, etc., they all come in units of 3 minimum, as far as I'm aware, unless the book's obviously going to change stuff. They come in units of 3. So what that means is that if you want to take a unit of 6 of them, a bit of a chunkier unit, to hit a bit harder and all that, to make it more of a, good old damage dealer, then you fall into having 5 or more, or having more than 5 models, which means coherency rules become a pain, especially for your big bases, because they're probably on 40mm, if not 50mm, those paladins. So then you have to worry about coherency, and some of their weapons are 1 inch, I believe, so that means that it's not going to be fun. So I could see, I'm just trying to think like the tactics for the Stormcast. If you do take paladins, are going to be like units of 3 potentially, and then that means that you're going to quite often be outnumbered by the enemy, which means you quite often get this ability. And as this isn't a command ability or anything like that from what we've seen, it's just something you just get. It's a battle trait, it's part of the sub-legions. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Obviously, if you're not running paladins, it's not really going to help you out. But I like it that the Knight Excelsior has been like associated with paladins as an example, because I think like when I have the old Stormcast Eternal book, when I've looked through it, I don't think they really had that. All of these sort of sub-legions just looked at, I think they all kind of just gave generic buffs, not target towards specific unit types. Again, like the anvils or the Heldenhammer were really good for like shooting twice in a turn, that sort of thing. But it's interesting to see that the new sub-legions are going to be focusing on certain unit options, which I think is cool, because the Stormcast Eternals have got so many units options, haven't they, obviously. So your Hammers of Sigmar are obviously going to focus on dragons, which is cool, and a little bit sad because, they're the most generic ones, the Hammers of Sigmar, aren't they? The gold and blue boys. So it would be nice if someone else got the new shiny toys, but obviously it kind of makes sense for them to get it. Knight Excelsior is going to be all about paladin. So yeah, I like where this is going so far, and I think that is a good ability. It will definitely, I think they'll probably be hitting on 2s and 2s at that point, or 3s and 2s, or 2s and 3s, or something like that. That's pretty good. So yeah, I like that, and they can certainly do a lot of damage, all those paladin units. So the Knights Excelsior Stormhost can take the elite Annihilators, Decimators, Protectors and Retributors as Battleline units. They can take a beating and hit hard, favouring a slow but purposeful playstyle. An extra boost to hit and wounds with such powerful units will give even your toughest opponents pause. Yeah, I really like that, because there's no risk. It's not you roll a dice or anything. You just get it. Doesn't cost a resource. Very nice, and you'll be getting it most of the time because you'll be outnumbered, like I say. Okay, so then the next one, so Astral Templars, very cool. So the bigger they are, in the era of the beast, that's what it says, everyone expects to run into their fair share of massive monsters, and dealing with them can be rather tricky. The Astral Templars are perhaps the best equipped to handle themselves here, thanks to their Beast Stalker ability. So, what does it do? Much shorter than the Excelsior, but let's see what it does. So, friendly Astral Templar units cannot be picked when your opponent carries out a monstrous rampage. Well, that's just really good. Again, might not be as exciting as, +1 to hit and wound, or something like that. But what it does is it means your whole army, unless you've got allies in your army, of course, are going to not be able to be targeted at the end of the charge phase, I believe it is, when the monster charges. Anyway, when it does its ability, because some of it can just be D3 mortal wounds, which Stormcast Eternals don't really have much of a mortal wound save, and then it could be the main one being Raw, which is the whole make the enemy not be able to take or basically issue or receive command abilities, which Stormcast Eternals, I imagine, all their sorts of heroes are probably going to have lots of command abilities they're going to rely on. So it means that you can rely on it on Astral Templars, and it's not just going to be taken away from you. So that's cool. Things like you always get your all-out defense, all-out attack, all of that will still be going ahead. So that is good to hear. And with monsters, you don't really have too many monsters, but I suppose Stormcast Eternals probably do have 3 monsters? The Star Drake and literally the 2 new dragons. Because I'm thinking for Titanic Jewel, because I don't think the Celestant or Yggdrasil is a monster. But so most things will benefit from this. So that's absolutely fantastic. Your whole army is immune to it. So that's pretty cool. And then again, but there might be a sub-legions that just has one rule, which is +4 inches to all their movement. And it's that's clearly the best one. But, from what we've seen so far, that's pretty good. So with both Vanguard Paladins and Vanguard Hunters available as Battleline units, the Astral Templars can soften up their quarry at a sensible range before charging in with highly mobile units to finish the job. Toss in a dedicated monster slayer like Yggdrasil, and you can take the teeth out of the enemy's bite more often than not. Yes, that's quite cool. Yggdrasil, I'm going to get up. Sorry, should have read through this before, and I should have got this up later or earlier. But I just want to see if Yggdrasil, because I've still got the War Scroll cards here from Dominion. What Stormhost is she? Is she bloody C as a Sigmar? Hammer's a Sigmar? No, she's not. Okay, that's pretty cool then. Because I was going to say, well, it's a shame that she's Hammer's a Sigmar. She's meant to be all good in this, but at the same time, she's not Hammer's a Sigmar apparently. But at the same time, they didn't make her an Astral Templar. Sad. Shame about that. Yeah, so that's that. But what else have we got to say about it? The only other things I would say, comparing it to the core battalion from the General's Handbook, can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's called the Hunters, something like that. It means units from that battalion can't be targeted by monstrous rampage abilities, which kind of then makes it feel like, oh, well, if I was taking units that go into that anyway, then this feels redundant, but you're not always going to take units that are going to go into that. So it sorts itself out. So I think that's quite good, but I can just imagine someone mentioning that, so I just thought I'd talk about it. Right, so that's that. Again, a lovely photo here. And I do think that is an Archaon size base. That does look huge. Right, so you'll have to pre-order the Stormcast Eternals Battletome to get the complete picture. What? They're not just going to hand it over to YouTubers and they'll put it online for free and then we can just look at it. That's a shame. But rest assured, they're one of the most versatile armies in Warhammer Age Sigmar. No matter how you prefer to play the game, there's a way to tailor the champions of Sigmar to your liking. That's literally been the same since 2nd edition. Keep an eye out for more news on when you expect to get the Battletome in your hands. If you haven't already forged a collection of Stormcast Eternals, the Extremis starter set provides a balanced army to get you going, as well as a force of cool boys to bash. So speaking of which, check back here tomorrow for a look at some of the flexible new options coming in the Uruk War Clans Battletome. So I will try and cover that tomorrow if I can, 100%. And like I say, this is just a little short one we got already here. And then this is just confirming that the pre-order for all of this will be going on not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So I thought there was a chance it could have been this Saturday, the 14th, but it's not going to be until the 21st of August. Now, they could make it the 28th of August, but I'm pretty sure they said it's coming out this month and not pre-order this month. If it's pre-order this month and pre-order on 28th, and That's just sad and annoying. But I reckon the 21st. The 21st is when it probably will be. And I've actually got a tournament on the 21st for a TTS Age of Sigmar tournament on Age of Nagash Discord, in case you do want to check that out. I did a little post yesterday, but the 21st has just reminded me that as well. So pre-order it before the game start. But with that, guys, that's it. So let me know what you think about this. Really, it's kind of just came to the information we've got here, because like I said, it's quite a short one. We've mainly just got Battleline information, found out a little bit about Knight Excelsior, and found out a bit about the Astral Templars. So let me know if overall you're happy about this, or you would have rather seen a bit of different things, or you would have hoped the Knight Excelsior and the Astral Templars got something a bit different, or the Battleline options were different. Or let me know also what you like the most out about it. Are you glad that you now know, oh, I can do this with my Battleline, so that means that I can start planning. I'm not going to have to paint loads of Secretors, as an example, or like, Liberators. I can actually start going with things like Paladins, because I really want to do Knight Excelsior. That's how my army's painted. That's how I'm going to paint my army, etc. Let me know that down below, as always. And of course, guys, if you do enjoy the video, like I said at the start, please be an absolute star and smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification. Those are 3 really easy buttons for you to press, and you could have pressed that in less time it took me to tell you that. Basically, by liking the video shows to me that you like Stormcast Eternal, so do that on your own free will. But also shows to YouTube that other people enjoy this video, so hopefully it shows it to certain people who aren't aware of the channel, and then maybe the channel gets a bit bigger because they find the stuff and they enjoy the video. So that would be amazing. And by subscribing to this video, it makes the channel grow at the end of the day. I don't think I really need to say any more than that. It's absolutely fantastic. And by smashing the bell notification, it helps Age of Nagash here pick up on the thing that we're lacking the most, which is the amount of people that actually press that button. But also, apart from that, how it helps you guys, it means that you're never going to miss a future one of my videos, especially if you're watching this video at this point. Presumably you like my news videos, and they're the sort of videos that I put up with not much notice at all. Kind of like 15-minute notice, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes like 3 minutes. So if you want to make sure you don't miss it, smash that bell button. And if you feel like you know someone who enjoyed this video, make sure you share it with them. And like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, if you do want to continue the conversation going on, we've got a fantastic community down in the Age of Nagash Discord, where there'll be a link for it in the description of this video. So just go down below, click the link, take you to the Discord. You won't regret it. It's an amazing community, and we have, going to guess, about 320 members now, something like that. And it's really, really nice. And loads of conversation talking about lore, list building, TTS, so Tabletop Simulator, in case you're not aware of that. News, so much stuff going on. So anyway, check that out if you'd like to. The reason I mention it is because I get bollocked by the people in my Discord for not mentioning it enough, basically. But yeah, so with that, guys, the only other thing I do just want to say, of course, as always, is if you do want to support the channel that step further, I have got a YouTube membership and I have got a Patreon. So what does that mean? If you click the join button next to the subscribe button, allow you to become a member here at Age of Nagash, where you can give anything from just £1 a month. And if you click the link to my Patreon at the top of the description down below, it'll allow you to go to my Patreon site, and then you can become a patron for basically $1 a month. And what that massively helps with is, at the end of the day, keeping the channel going. Doing a YouTube channel, as I always say, costs a lot of money, basically, for what you think it is. It takes so much time, so much resources, everything else, that if it was a business, at the end of every month, you would make a loss. But from what I get from these people being able to put in this much personal support towards me, allows me to keep this up and keep doing it. So if you want to be one of the reasons why Age of Nagash can keep going, if you are really enjoying the videos, make sure you click the join button, become a member, like I say, from anything from just £1, guys, or go to the link down below in the description, go to my Patreon, give anything from just $1 as well. Would massively help out the channel. Sounds small, but adds a long way. And people who made that amazing choice, and these amazing and beautiful people, are in this list right here. So, firstly, starting with my biggest supporter, is going to be my Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon, who is Filq. So Filq, thank you so much for keeping up that massive support. I really do appreciate it. It's such a really lovely and generous offer you're giving there. So, very, very kind of you, and please keep up. And then my Morgasts, who are Bleed Red, the Mortarch of the Necropolis, and Edward P. So thank you all so much for giving a very generous support there as being Morgasts. Really does make a big difference. And then my Vampires, who always say is the core that keeps Age of Nagash going, is going to be Amir, Ben C, Rouse321, David A, Dragoonity, Ronni H, Darren L, SpareBear, Christopher H, Northdrop, Nathan F, Andrew G, Tom W, Wiggy Whooty, Anthony R, and Nathan S. Thank you all so much. And then my Necromancers, who is Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Dice Sagas, WolfNick, Michal W, Cranky Wombat, Tom M, Christopher C, Christopher F, James S, Thomas B, Steve T, James T, Patrick F, JJ, R Christopher, Sception, Arnold G, and Shaun S. So I do just also want to say that Arnold G is a new member also of YouTube. So thank you so much, Arnold, for becoming a member. It really massively helps out the channel, and I know that you do obviously give quite a bit of support to the channel anyway. So it's very, very kind of you, and please keep it up. And thank you to all my people, everyone who's managed to support me this way. It allows me to help get people into our amazing hobby, being Age of Sigmar, and to continue their Age of Sigmar journey. And with that aside, guys, if you can't support this way, no worries at all. I just hope that you enjoyed this video today, and if you did, just like, subscribe, and bell notification. Doesn't cost you a penny. Does amazing stuff for the channel. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on what we talked about today. And yeah, so until next time, guys, remember to stay safe, stay hygienic, make sure you wear masks, and for God's sake, wash your hands, or none of these options become Battleline for you. It's just the law. And then secondly, and most importantly, is remember until next time, that Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.